Tell me what the hell are you scared of when in the end the only
Where's the love? Right here on this podcast. Welcome to Love Drops, where your hosts and One Love ambassadors, Charles and Diane, will share love, hope, and inspirational topics taken from their journey and world events. We will also include on-location recordings and special pop-up guests from cool places all around the world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
whether big or small, love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never fails.
Welcome to the Love Drops podcast. We're your hosts, Charles
and Diane.
This episode is very timely. Since we're entering a new year in less than a week, we're excited to have on our show today Diane's mother, Deborah. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. The secret of change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. Diane and I have gone into countless new seasons over the course of our 18 plus years together. And what I can say is this: it never gets old leaping into something new. Let me clarify. So every new season comes with some form of change. And as we're all aware, with change, there's always a sense of the unknown. Now, I don't know about you, but for us, the unknown can be both exciting and scary. And that, my friend, never gets old.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Serenity prayer. Charles and I are both from Michigan, and one of the coolest things about growing up there was that we had 4 seasons. Now, let me be clear. The seasons didn't always change on schedule, but they did always change. Personally, my favorite seasons growing up were spring and summer. I was cool with the start of fall, but you never knew when a snowstorm might fall into your fall season. No matter how much I despised the freezing, icy, cold, and snowy winters of Michigan, I could not grow up there without them. Please believe, the first chance I got, I headed for a calmer climate without snow. I see the new season quite the same as Michigan weather. There will be some that I love and others that I'm not so fond of. But just like growing up in Michigan and dealing with the winter, sometimes in life we have to grow through seasons that we would rather skip.
I find it helpful to have the proper mindset when entering a new season. This means allowing yourself to feel the fear without getting stuck in that emotion. Fear can become the biggest obstacle, keeping you stuck in a season when it's time for change. I have found that letting go and letting God direct my path has allowed me to move in a way that takes me beyond my fears into the new. Diane and I are currently on this Go Where I Send You journey, which requires us to trust in the Lord with all our hearts and lean not into our own understanding. This sounds good and even feels good, but the reality of this journey is we step into many, many new seasons that are beyond our understanding. So imagine what our family and friends think about this. Yet we continue to find ourselves in the most amazing places, connecting with beautiful human beings worldwide. We continue to put love over fear and move forward, trusting God every step of the way.
Yes, indeed, Charles. We trust God every step of the way. What has worked for us is what I call triple S. Surrender, shake, and shine. Surrender is letting go of what was and making way for what is to be. Shake is shaking off everything that is not meant to go into your new season. And shine is going into your new season glowing, ready to thrive and soar. Surrender, shake, and shine into your new season. Our guest is and has been my greatest fan from before I ever took my first breath. All the way from Detroit, Michigan, Deborah. Welcome, Mom.
I would like to say to our listeners that it's an honor and a privilege to even have this opportunity. I thank God for you. I thank God for my ambassadors, whom I love so much. And I can't even begin to talk about who I am because I ask myself all the time, who are you? And all I could come up with is the same thing that John the Baptist said. I'm just a voice in the wilderness, trying to compel those to come out of the darkness into the light, into the love. I'm just one who really loves the Lord and loves his people. Nothing more. The education or anything else that I've ever done in life does not even touch my relationship in my Lord and Jesus Christ. But I would like to say this morning that I was asked to come on the show. And before I always said no, but I couldn't say no this time because something happened in 2022 that really became real to me about this one love ambassador thing. And that is my son-in-law, Charles, and my daughter, Diane, as they went through their journey while God was using them. But he had already prepared them. But this was the real fire they were going through when Charles became diagnosed with COVID. And I know for a fact God and only God could have brought them through. But I know also that their one love is true. That's what I want you to understand. They really have taken it to a limit where there's no more question, no more denying, no more wonder. Everything that they're doing, my God, they've done everything that you could think of together. They've traveled together. They've done everything together, fed the hungry, visited and saw about the homeless and practiced their hospitality. And they teach and they empower others. They talk the talk, but they also walk the walk. I just thank God for them. I had to say that before anything else, because that to me is the reason why I'm here. Because I believe, therefore I speak. What does a new season represent for me? Most times we think seasons have to do with the weather. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Or seasons has to do with sports, hunting, fishing, seed and harvest. Personally, for me, any given sunrise has the potential to unfold a series of circumstances. For example, the miraculous birth of a child, or the sudden unexpected death of a friend or loved one, or even the loss of an animal or pet, a job promotion, graduation, or a devastating divorce. Simply on any given sunrise, you may find yourself spontaneously experiencing a new season in life, a brand new day, like winning $1 million lottery versus filing bankruptcy. What has been some of the highlights? Well, Ecclesiastes 3:1 states, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So from the vantage point of when I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, a wonderful change came over me. Amazing and wonderful daughters, Diane, Trina, and Carmen. My granddaughter, Naisha. My grandsons, Gary, James, Jamel, Ricardo, and Deshaun. All of my great-grandchildren light up my world and form our family tree. Diane left home first and always sent for me. She is responsible for most of my travels from Petoskey, Michigan, and as far as Frankfurt, Germany. Traveling allowed me to see and appreciate our beautiful country. So many friendly people to greet and to meet. Now I live in a senior citizen community for independent living, a most rewarding season, and I'm thankful. The best way of transitioning into a new season is to give thanks with a grateful heart. Sometimes it might be a little scary because you've never been there before. So it's like, oh my God, what should I expect? But that's how come in Proverbs 3 and 5, he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. But in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry. All you have to do is trust in the Lord. And then I would suggest these 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. I know they have really, really been a help to me and a lot of others. Be impeccable with your word. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. The next agreement is don't take things personal. You have to put on the whole armor of God so that you can protect your thoughts. Number 3 is don't make assumptions. Don't assume anything. You don't have to ask because you already know. You know their ways. You know what they like. You know what they don't like. It's okay because I know that person. But you really don't know anybody. Only God knows us all. And the 4th agreement is always do your best. Only God knows what your best is. Because people can look at us and say, oh, they're doing good. They're not doing as good as they could do because God knows whether you're doing your best or not. So to the best of your ability, whatever you find your hands to do, do it with all your might. Always do your best in anything that you're doing. So again, the 4 agreements are be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personal. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. The best way that I know to go into a new season is with a grateful heart. We need to learn how to appreciate the things that God has given us. We have to understand it doesn't matter how much money we have. It doesn't matter how much property we have. It doesn't matter how much education we have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Thank God for what you do have. And don't let yourself be in a place to where you let what you cannot do get in the way of what you can. Be thankful. Be thankful. And I know sometimes it's not easy. It's always easy to thank God if we getting material things. Oh, I got a new car, or I got a new house, or oh my Lord, look at the Lord is blessing me. Don't associate all your blessings with materialism, because he said, set your affections on things above, not on these things on the earth, because you ain't taking none of this with you. Practice love. Practice love. Going into your new season every day, you need to be aware. As in Hebrews 12 and 1, it says, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside. See, you don't go into the new season carrying over things from yesterday or a year ago. Some people go way back. Lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. I want you to know anything that's in your way, you have to move it out the way. Even sometimes it's our own self in the way, and we have to get out the way so God can have his way. We have to learn to surrender totally as we go into the new season. Don't think about what has happened. Think about what can happen now that you're in your new season. You don't have to even think about anything except for great expectations. The best days are ahead. And remember the 2 commandments. The first and great commandment in Matthew 22 and 36, 39, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. That's the first and the great commandment. Then the royal law is to love your neighbor as yourself. So it's all about love. Let go and let God. Okay, this is what I would like to leave you with in going to your new season. First of all, I want you to be true to yourself. Secondly, I want you to be grateful. I want you to be confident. I want you to be open to new things. And I want you to keep your trust in the Lord all the way. I'd like to thank Charles and Diane for having me on the Love Drops podcast. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you. God bless you, and I love you.
Never a second will I waste. Never an opportunity to taste the sweetness of this life.
Thank you for tuning in to the Love Drops podcast. Be sure to follow this podcast and share the love with everyone you know. Until next time, this is Charles and Diane signing off. One love.
Love it conquers all, whether big or small. Love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never fails.